Okay, we are going to start your first project. It's going to be called the Creativity Grid. And what you're going to do, you are going to start with a sheet of paper that you have in your packet, and it has all of these emblems and shapes and lines on that. We are going to turn it into something that looks like a finished drawing on the right side over here. You're going to use shading, you're going to use value, you're going to use texture. The more creative you are, the better off we're going to be. So let's talk about creativity. I'd like for you to think about what are the characteristics of a creative person. I think of intuitive, I think of unique, I think of original. So you might think of artsy, some of those terms. So I want you to take a minute and reflect on what the term creativity means. Think about that. Now, there's also different types of creativity. There's fluency, there's flexibility, there's originality, and there's elaboration. So some people have a lot of ideas. That would be fluency. Some people have flexibility. They have a lot of different ideas. Some people have originality, which means they have their own. They're not like anyone else. And then some people have elaboration, which means their ideas are really complex. So we're going to think about that when you're creating on this sheet of paper. We're going to think about those four different terms, and we'll talk about that again later. You're going to need your sketchbook. You're going to need a drawing pencil, an eraser, and you're going to need your creative grid worksheet, and that is located in the paper packet that was sent home to you. If you by chance do not have that, you can print one off. You can get it right off Schoology. So here we go. We're starting with this here, okay? And this is going to be the beginning of your drawing. So every line that you make can be turned into something that looks realistic, or maybe it's just abstract. But we want it to be a whole, complete picture. We don't want it to look like little bitty pictures. We want it to be, try to make it a uniform, like it's one big picture. So I am going to switch over to this page right here. Okay, hope you can see this. So I'm going to give you a demonstration. So I'm starting, and I'm just looking at these objects. I'm coming in here, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start with just a line. I'm going to come down here. Oh, and I already see something that I'm going to make. This to me looks like it could be a fish. Does it have to stay in the box? Absolutely not. So I'm coming in here. Make this a little bit more elaborate. I'm going to put a highlight right here. I'm going to start shading some areas. And I'm going to come back to this, but I'm going to try to make it as detailed as possible. Maybe I'm going to draw some fins and some scales. Okay. Notice I'm just putting in texture right now, and I can also do some shading. Maybe I'm going to do a little bit of a gradation and go from dark to light. My pencil here. I'm going to give this guy some pop. This line right here, maybe I'm going to make this line thicker just to make his eye stand out a little bit better. And again, I have a lot more to go on that, but what else can I do? Now, I'm turning this to the side, and I'm going to play with this to the side. Does it have to stay like this? No, I can have a jumbled up version of a lot of different images, and that's fine. So let's see what else we can come up with. I'm going to make this kind of like a little sea monster over there. Maybe I'm going to add in bubbles. So along with these lines that you have on your paper, you can keep going and you can fill in some of the blank spaces. Okay, so That's just a start, not hardly at all where I want to be, but a start for you to see. Let's go back to this here. These are some examples. Check out some of these examples here. Look at this one here. This has a lot of detail, very elaborate, some textures. Could use a little bit more shading. This one here in the center, really like it. I can't see any of the original lines or shapes, so that worked very well. This one over here in the bottom right, this is an example of an unfinished design. So this to me looks like everyone, you want to go with your first idea. Sometimes your first idea is not your best idea. And this little guy here, yeah, a snowman, a little round body, a figure 8. This one, a mountaintop. Everyone's probably that's going to be their first response. So I want you to go above and beyond and think about, okay, there's my first idea. What can my second idea be? What can my third idea be? And that's going to make your ideas and your creative grid that much more strong. Okay? So moving on, here's going to be your grid checklist. I'm going to grade on, did you apply your current toolkit of art skills? Did you use your class time well? Okay? Along with working virtually. Elaboration. Did you fill your ideas with the paper? Okay, or excuse me, did you fill your paper with lots of ideas? Did you embellish your drawing? Did you shade it? Did you make details? Flexibility. Did you adjust your drawing to fit the lines and the shapes? Originality. Did you think outside the box? What made yours different from anyone else's? Craftsmanship. How neat is it? Okay, did you tear the paper? Did you fold? Do you have smudges? Did you rip it? Okay, so those are all some things that I'm going to be looking at. Just wanted to go through that with you. Okay, once you've finished, last thing you're going to do is you're going to turn in your creativity grid. You're going to take a photo, and you can take a photo with your phone, with your laptop. You will find a video on how to take the best photo of your artwork. You want to zoom in. Okay, we don't want all the excess area. The only thing we want is we want this. Okay, we want this. Everything else, we don't want all this excess area. You can also take a photograph on your laptop, okay, and that goes straight to your camera roll, and then you're going to upload that to a media album by the due date, and we will set that at another time. You're going to answer how it went for you on the assignment, and then your first assignment is finished. So anyway, you have questions or concerns, email me. If it's not due before I see you at school, make sure that you track me down and ask me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Happy creating.